Technical issues because I did it to myself. Anyway, you ever catch yourself doing Olympic sized gymnastics for people who can't even step over a puddle for you? Yeah, me too. This week handed me a reminder, a sharp one, about what happens when you ignore your own boundaries. So tonight, we're getting into the real grown, I'm done being stupid for people conversation. Because choosing yourself, well, it's just not an option anymore. Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Massive and crew all across the world, introducing Angie Goodaz, the hostess with the mustache, big and serious podcast creator, yeah, creator and producer, big energy, big heart, big truth, when it's selector. Good evening, my people. This one is a special dedication to a woman with grace, vision and soul. Angie Goodaz. When Angie speak, the whole room listens. Heart so pure, yeah, the truth she giving, big and serious, loving every session. Healing words, real conversation. Lovers rock, sweet vibration. Podcast flow, pure elevation. From the mic to your heart, no hesitation. Angie Goodaz bring love to the nation. Big and serious, where love gets serious, where truth feel glorious. So turn it up, lean back, feel the emotion. This one you're certified devotion. Angie Goodaz, keep the love in motion. Big and serious, both us, straight from the heart, straight from the heart, straight from the heart, straight from the heart. Oh,
Yes, 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 people. Welcome back to another episode of the Big and Serious Podcast. Music, conversation, and a little trouble every time. I'm your hostess with the mostess, Angie Goodaz, and tonight we're talking about boundaries, disappointment, and the moment you realize you've been pouring into the wrong places. So, before I get into any of that, I do want to take a moment to shout out Roots Rock Reggae Radio Show. They air on CKUT 90.3 FM out of Montreal every Monday morning at 1 o'clock in the morning. Show goes until 4. Shout out to Singing P, Selector Madman, Cassette Man, Calendar Man, and Brother Cliff, all in the building. And the Goodaz, that would be me, joins the conversation every other Monday. So this week, it'll be information for the nation at 2 o'clock. And we're finally going to get into that conversation about vitamin D because, if you're from the Caribbean, you're in the Caribbean diaspora, you don't know how much vitamin D actually plays a role in your mood. When you want to tell people, figure, yeah, it plays a lot in your mood, your energy levels, all of that. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to, highlight the nation on it, and we'll go from there. I do want to take a moment to say shout out to YouTube, to Twitch, and to Rumble. Welcome to the building. We're going to let TikTok in just now, and Instagram, you done know. I think I'm divorcing Spotify. It's not fitting into the workflow. They keep deleting my so yeah, we're going to let them go. Likkle Wayne Wagwan, welcome to the building. Yazid, he says, big up one queen, you done know. So this is actually a solo episode today. So it's a good thing that I had my little ism schisms by myself, because there's nothing worse than when you have the ism and then a schism and you have somebody a weird upon you. That's very embarrassing, So I'm glad it happened on my own because, I can handle it. Let me bring in my Casamigos. Shout out to Wheelie Down Productions for my sexy, sexy, sexy rhythm. I do want to say shout out to Michael Jazz Music Project for the Angie Goodaz anthem that you hear at the beginning. Big and serious. Yeah, where love gets serious. You don't know. Shout out to you, Mr. Michael Jazz, for that. Michael Jazz Music Project. I want to say really thank you for my, let's see if I can get it right, my sexy logo, Big and Serious Podcast logo. And if you want to see the new Angie Goodaz logo, I do use both of them, but it's on Instagram. So yeah. What else? Like I said, it's a solo mission tonight. It's all good. It's just you and me. I do want to let you know how to find us. So I'm going to run the ticker on the bottom of the screen for those of you that, well, I guess everybody, if I'm divorcing Spotify, everybody can see the stream. See that? Yeah, sometimes you know what? And this me divorcing Spotify, no diss to the program and to the platform. It's all good. I'm not going to take down my past episodes, but actually I might just do a clean break and just take everything down from there. But when we talk about boundaries, right? I just can't deal with the stress that the people that want to give me every week. I can't bother with it, Can't bother with it. So why should I stress myself out? It don't make sense, right? It just does not make sense. So I am choosing myself. So I am not only talking the talk, I'm actually walking it. Go on, Goodaz. Yeah, man, I'll walk it. So yeah, I'm gonna divorce them. But let's run over to TikTok. Let's let the people them in the building, because you don't know TikTok is gonna join the conversation, and they're hype over there. So we'll let them enter the conversation too. What else? Let's also go ahead and let the other people them in the building too. We're not gonna send a name because we're not to talk things. But yes, like I said, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Angie Goodaz. Tonight we're talking about boundaries, disappointments, and the moment you realize you've been pouring into the wrong places, baby. It's okay. We take it and we learn from it, right? We learn from it and we move forward, and that's the most important thing. So this is a solo mission, solo episode, just you and me, and we're gonna unpack what it really means to choose yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it disrupts the version of you the other people prefer, because we do that. We live in the mask, right? So even when it disrupts the version of you that the other people them really like, we're not really business with that. So I want you to settle in, get comfortable, because tonight's conversation, it's one that a lot of us have been avoiding. So let's have it. So first, I'm going to get into the big up, because we always big up somebody out there, and let's get into it. So tonight's big up is going out to a place that's been holding down the culture in Toronto long before Caribbean food was even trendy. Long before everybody and their cousins started lining up for patties and oxtail like it was a new discovery. Tonight we're bigging up Nicey's Food Mart, a true institution, a cultural anchor, and one of the most beloved Caribbean businesses in the GTA, and that's the Greater Toronto Area. But before we even talk about the store, I want to get into honoring the people behind the store, the founders. So Nicey's actually began as a small West Indian shop back in 1973, and they were serving the Scarborough community with the flavors and the ingredients of home. And then in 1979, the business was purchased by Vincent and Lorraine Lai, a Jamaican Chinese couple with vision, discipline, and a deep love for the Caribbean community. And they didn't just buy a store, they literally built a legacy. Vincent and Lorraine expanded Nicey's from a humble shop into a full-scale Caribbean food mart, complete with takeout, groceries, and a plaza that became a gathering point for the diaspora. Listen, believe it or not, they fed families, they supported elders, they welcomed newcomers, and they kept the culture alive. I'm not giving a sexy horn for that. And even though Vincent Lai has passed on, his legacy lives in every aisle, every shelf, every patty, every greeting at the counter. His spirit is in the consistency. His spirit is in the longevity. His love is in the way Nices continues to serve the community with pride. Nices is a kind of business that reminds you of what Caribbean excellence looks like. Yo, it's not loud. As much as we can be loud, it's not loud. It's not flashy. It's definitely not performative. It's consistent, reliable, rooted, and present. And the Likkle Trouble in me, come up and give a Likkle Trouble every time. I want to say some people could take a page out of Nicey's book. But we're really not going to really get into that too much. Because when you've been serving the community for decades, feeding generations, and holding down the culture with pride, you don't need to talk big. Your work just speaks for you. Yeah, man, it just talks for you. They be like, yeah, man, know them. Yeah, man, them people are good people. Yeah. So tonight we honor the early Nicey shop that started it all. We honor Vincent Lai and Lorraine Lai, who carried the torch and built the brand. And we honor the entire Nicey's team who continue to show up for the culture every single day. Yeah, man, Nicey's Food Mart, big up yourself. Thank you for showing up for the community, for the culture, and for every single one of us who has ever walked through your doors looking for a taste of home. We see you, we appreciate you, and we honor you tonight. And I just want to say shout out to my parents who used to bring me there. So yeah, that now. Yeah, I guess some patty and cocoa bread and some ting or some ginger beer and them way there. Yeah, we like it. So they have all right, so they do have some locations that are still open. So I believe they're still open at 2290 Markham Road in Scarborough. Their phone number is 416-754-3383. And they also have a location in Brampton, and that's at 107 Kennedy Road South in Brampton. And their phone number is 905-459-2525. Oh, I do want to say the location in Scarborough is actually a restaurant and grocery and takeout, and they close at 8 p.m. And the one in Brampton is actually a grocery store. So see there. They used to have other locations in Mississauga and more Cambay Gate, but they actually closed. So the two that I mentioned prior to, the one on Kennedy Road and the one on Markham Road, supposed to still be open. And yeah, man, go support the team, because like 1973 till now, I'm not gonna say it's old, but big up to my big brother who was born in 73, and we know he's ancient. So yeah, Nicey's Food Mart, big up yourself. And you know what? I'm going to take a moment to slay. All right. So now it's time to get into the serious thing, because why this is a serious topic. It's so important that we discuss this, because I know I've done it, I'm sure you've done it. It's not nice, but it's okay, because we learn from it and we move forward. So I want to talk to you about something that every single one of us has lived through, something that will humble you, teach you. God, nobody mention it, please, Angie. Humble you, teach you, stretch you, and sometimes vex your spirit if you let it. I want to talk about people who don't show up. So this is the serious thing. So, we're not doing this in a petty way, because, well, we can be petty. I mean, I'm a Taurus. We can be petty if we want to, but I'm not on that vibe tonight. I really promise you. Listen, Kamwata. I'm really not in a petty vibe tonight. I promise you. not even in a call out type of vibe, because I'm like, you do you, I'll do me, and that's what it is. I want to talk about this in a real grown, reflective way where you look at your life and you say, hold on. Why am I giving VIP access to people who can't even send a text back? Bruh. Yo, why? Why? Yo, I thought that a little bit too deeply, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna say it again. Why are we giving VIP access to people who can't even send you back a text message? Why are we doing that? Because you know what? Life will teach you gently at first, and then with a little slap or a little cuff, that not everyone who says they're with you is really with you. Okay? And sometimes the disappointment isn't loud. Sometimes it's quiet. And sometimes it's the silence that hurts way more than the no ever could have. Right? Like, it's like, yo, if you did just say no, if you just did talk up and say no, like say it with your chest even, you know. I want to big up my people out there on TikTok. If the people them that just said no with them chests, it wouldn't hurt more than the silence when they want gear, like say, yeah, I want idiot, you know, remember say you did ask them for something and then not give, or you did ask them a question and then just leave you. You see the 2 tick marks on the message thing that shows that they got the message and they actually read it because it blew, but them still not answer you. Yo. Anyway, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between interest and commitment. Okay? I'm going to tell you that. Interest is cute. Okay? Interest is vibes. Yeah, man, I like her. Yo, you see that good as day? Yeah, man, that girl there? Yeah, man, she can go on. Yeah, interest is vibes. Interest is, yeah, man, I'm down until it's time to actually do the thing. Because then when it's time to do the thing, well, the interest could actually go away. And I'm not going to lie, I've done that. Thank you for sharing the live, by the way. I've done that where, you know, down for going out. I'm down for the cause. And then the time comes and I'm like, yeah, you know, so my bed look really nice right now. Yeah. So I get it. That's interest. And we all do it. We're all guilty of it. Okay. So it's not like, you know, some of us are sitting here on a pedestal and other people are not capable. That's not it. Right. But it's the commitment. Where's the commitment? If I feel like I made plans to go out with someone or to go out with people, and in the last minute or whatever, I decide that, boy, you know, my couch look really nice with a glass of wine right now and a Netflix film. Commitment is being able to contact the people them and say, yo, you know, I'm not forward. Instead of leaving people hanging, leaving people waiting for you, like who are you? You think you're some type of royalty? Like, oh, well, go on. And even if you were royalty, why for that? Right? So commitment is action. It's consistency. Commitment is showing up even when it's inconvenient, right? So it's sending that message or replying to that request, even when it's inconvenient for you to do it. I mean, come on, man. And you know, the older I get, and shout out to me because, you know, I go hit a milestone birthday soon, Earth Strong. Although Lexus, shout out to Lexus on the outside, he said don't celebrate the birthdays because you only had one. So, you know, my day is coming up soon. I'm very excited about it. But the older I get, the more I realize that some people, man, and this one's going to hurt you, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just what it is. Some people love the idea of you. They love the idea of you and having you in their life in whatever capacity. Doesn't have to be romantic, doesn't have to be any of that. It could be on a business level, it could be on a friendship thing, it could be on a workout partner thing, right? Some people love the idea of you, but not the responsibility of showing up for you. Showing up for you? What the heck? What? You mean say you want me for really, like, you want me for forward, like you really want me for show up for you, like you really want me for message you and make you know say me can't forward, or me no want to do it, or me to tell you yes but me really did mean no. Brethren, sister, Idrin. Oh, this applies to everything. Like I said, work, friendships, collaborations, and yes, the relationship that we will find with Selfina, even the situationships. If you think about it, even the situationships. And we're not calling names because I'm not about that life. We're not even dragging anybody. We're just talking the truth. We're just talking the real truth, right? And as creatives, like for me doing this podcast, I'm not gonna say a Likkle podcast because it's big and it's real serious. But as creatives, we feel it even more because our work is emotional, right? So for me, like this, you see me here every Thursday, but shout out to Baby Goodaz. You can ask her how much time and energy is actually invested into this thing, right? And it's not just I'm gonna hit live and I'm gonna go live. Like there's actual work that goes into this. And shout out to all the other podcasters out there that put actual work into their craft, who've been doing it way longer than me. I'm still navigating this ship, I'm still learning this ship, especially on my own, right? But shout out to those that have been doing it for so long, because man, it is emotional, spiritual work. It requires energy. It requires timing. It requires trust. So when someone says they're going to send you the promo, when someone says they're going to send you the promo material and they don't, or when someone says they're going to show up for the interview and they ghost, or when someone says, yeah, man, I'm so excited, but their actions are giving, it throws off your whole rhythm. It throws off your whole ecosystem. And the Likkle Trouble in me wants to say, because I have a lot of Likkle Trouble in me. But the Likkle Trouble in me wants to say, if you didn't want to do it, you couldn't just say that. But the grown woman in me knows that people will show you who they are, and it's your job to believe them. Okay? And I'm going to say that again. People will show you who they are, and it's your job to believe them. And let's be real. It's not just work. It's not just creative projects even. Sometimes the people closest to you, the ones who should, they should be your soft place to actually land, in the hard, tough world. Sometimes they're the ones who don't show up in the moments that actually matter. And that hits different, because when someone you care about doesn't show up for you, it's not just disappointment. It's a shift. Like it's a literal shift. It's a literal recalibration, right? It's a moment where you say, oh, okay. So this is where we are now. All right. And listen, you don't have to call names. You legit don't have to call names. And why would you want to give them that energy? Don't give them your energy like that, You don't have to call out names. You don't even have to make a scene. You don't have to please don't beg for effort. Like don't beg for effort, okay? You just adjust. Let's say it one more time. You just adjust. You adjust, okay? Quietly, gracefully, and with your head held high and your shoulders back, because your spirit knows when it's not being met. And we need to listen to that. Your spirit 100% knows when it's not being met. And that is where the boundaries come in. Yeah, that's where the boundaries come in. And we're not talking about harsh boundaries. Like it doesn't have to be some big, not burn out the whole of the world. No. It doesn't have to be like that. Right? That's extreme. And you don't even have to be dramatic about it. And I used to do this, so I'm fully calling myself out. Good as, saying it really going like a quab sometimes. Because when I used to announce the boundaries, I'm just calling to let you know that XYZ. Right? That make it look more like a claffy, me not lie. That makes it look like you actually want the person to convince you not to have the boundary that you're setting. And why for that? When you've already had these conversations in your head with yourself, your body has told you through the feelings and that gut punch that you got in your stomach, you already know what needed to happen. You didn't need to announce it. You don't need to announce it. And the big dramatic thing, it don't work. It doesn't give you the results that you would hope. And believe me, I've done it, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay? So you don't even need the dramatic kind of boundaries. You just need the loving kind. The loving kind. And that's love for self, by the way. The kind that says, right, I honor myself way too much to keep pouring into places that don't pour back. That's a bar. I honor myself way too much to keep pouring into places that don't pour back. Yo, boundaries are not walls, eh? They're doors. They are literal doors. And you decide who gets the key to open the door. That's the beauty of the boundary. You decide who gets the key. It's not a you get a key and you get a key and you get a key to my boundaries and you get a key and you no. They must earn that. Right? So you decide who gets the keys and to open the door. And the part that might sting a little bit, it might hurt a little bit, and I'm sorry. But sometimes the people who get the most offended by your boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. Yo, sometimes the people who are so vexed that you all of a sudden have boundaries, you all of a sudden say, yo, me not like that thing there, don't do it again, don't bring it wrong, me no want it, don't do it again. Right? The people that are vexed that you did that or that you have those boundaries are usually the ones that benefited when you had no boundaries. You had no self-scruples, right? You had nothing about you for yourself, right? Those are usually the people that get vexed about it. And there's good news, though. The good news is that, and like I said, I'm full of a Likkle Trouble. I'm just full of trouble. Ask my mommy, big up Mama Goodaz on the outside. But when people don't show up for you, it's actually freedom. Like they have literally broken the shackles and the chains off of you. It frees you, okay? It frees you. And you know what? I'm not going to give you a hand for every single one of them. Watch out now. Watch the ride, right? It frees your time. It frees your energy. It frees your creativity. And it frees your spirit. Let me tell you again without the fanfare. When people don't show up for you, it frees you, okay? It frees your time. It frees your energy. It frees your creativity. And it frees your spirit. Because suddenly you're not waiting on anybody. You're not waiting on anybody. Yo, I've never felt so free in my life as I do right now. Okay? Because I'm not waiting on anybody to do anything for the Goodaz or for Angela. I'm not waiting, right? You're not chasing anybody. You're not this one. You're not rearranging your life for people who can't even rearrange their schedule. Because you're free, right? You get to dust off, you get to fix your crown, and you get to say, all right, cool, watch me work. And that's the part that they never, ever, ever, ever expect. Right? They don't expect it. So, in a week where, I've been thinking a lot about professionalism and showing up, there's a man whose name keeps coming to mind. A man who has shown up for this culture for over 50 years. A man who has carried himself with grace, with discipline, and humility. A man who honors his craft, he honors his audience, and he honors the music. Even after life tried to take him off the journey, like literally tried to take him off the journey, even after life tried to take him off the journey, he came back, he kept going, and he kept showing up. So tonight's big feature is dedicated to the captain himself, Freddie McGregor. Let's get into it. So, Freddie McGregor's name carries a kind of weight that you just don't earn overnight. It's a weight that comes from decades of discipline, decades of contribution, decades of showing up for the culture with humility and grace. And I'm talking about Freddie McGregor, the captain himself. And just to get into a little bit of his history, because we want to feature him properly. Freddie was born in Clarendon, Jamaica. Big up to the Clarendon massive visit. From the time he was a little boy, music was already calling him, and not in the casual way, not in the I like to sing kind of way, but in that deep spiritual way where you can tell a child has a gift that's bigger than them, right? You ever hear those little children sing and it's like, whoa, so where you get that voice from? Where it come from, right? It's just way bigger than them. Like it's so big that you're like, okay, all right, this is gonna be a great one. That was Freddie. So at 7 years old, Freddie walks into Studio One, okay? And Studio One, for those of you that don't know, Studio One is like, the Harvard of music, or the Oxford, or the Mecca of Jamaican music. And he walks into Studio One and he starts recording under the guidance of the legendary Coxsone Dud. So imagine this, okay? You got a child barely tall enough to reach the mic, and he's standing in the same space where the foundations of reggae were being built. He wasn't just watching history, he was a part of it. And from the Clarendonians to the Soul Defenders, these were groups that he was in, or that he created or helped create or founded. Freddie grew up inside the heartbeat of Jamaican music. He learned harmony, discipline. Oh wait, maybe he wasn't a part of the Clarendonians. I don't think he was. But anyway, he learned harmony, he learned discipline, he learned stagecraft, and the seriousness of work long before most artists even discover their voice. So you can imagine, like, almost literally being in a Jamaican music university, or like a just being put into the lab and just learning and moving and growing as you're literally growing and as your voice is literally growing. And even I think about, like, how did he manage all the different stages of his voice as he went through puberty and all of that stuff. So the thing about Freddie is he didn't stumble into greatness. He was actually shaped by it. He was raised in it, and he was forged into the fire of Studio One. And if you have not listened to Studio One, anything from Studio One days, you need to go and Google it, or do whatever to get that music and play it and just immerse yourself in it, because it is a very important part of Jamaican music. So one thing about Freddie McGregor, and I have to say that I've actually met him. I met him long before I was Angie Goodaz, long before I had any type of inclination that I'm going to be in front of audience chatting and holding a microphone and chatting. Actually, I can't even really say that, because I used to sing in church as a young girl. I used to do solos and all of those things. And I even hosted. So yeah, you know what? That statement's not. I did meet him after the microphone, but I did meet him before Angie Goodaz came to be a thing or a person or a persona, so to speak. But anyway, tangent, stop it. Let's get back to it. Freddie McGregor is the epitome of professionalism. And in an industry where ego can run wild and where people can get distracted by the hype, or where some folks forget the responsibility that comes with being a cultural vessel, Freddie has always been steady. Steady Freddie. Ask anyone who's worked with him. I implore you, anyone that's worked with Freddie McGregor, ask them. And I'm talking about the musicians, I'm talking about the engineers, the promoters, the selectors. They're going to tell you the same thing, right? They're going to tell you the same. And I know this because I witnessed this that time that I met him. Freddie arrives early. Freddie knows his parts. Freddie respects the band. Freddie respects the stage. And I can tell you firsthand, Freddie respects the audience. He respects the fans, or the appreciate lovers of the music. He respects them. He carries himself with a quiet dignity. It's not loud. It's not boastful. See the trend? It's not chasing attention. He's just a man who understands that when you are given a gift, you honor it by showing up with discipline. That's it. That's really it. It doesn't have to be so difficult. Just show up with discipline. And that's why he's loved not just by fans, but by the people behind the scenes, the ones who really know who's who. And I mean, I'm not going to say I'm one of them, because I'm still learning, right? But the people who actually know the foundational parts of the thing called Jamaican music and Jamaican, artistry and all of that, right? Those are the people that know the truth. And if you ask any of them, they're going to tell you, and you can see it, literally see it now, as life has taken him, on a different journey, or given him a different layer to deal with. All the people that rally around him, Mad Vibes, bless up yourself. All the people that rally around him and make sure that his shows go off properly and smoothly. He's actually doing a birthday show in Jamaica on June 27th. So tempting. So tempting. But the people that are around him that want to make sure that, he's still on stages, he's still performing. Shout out to his children, who are there with him every step of the way. They're the ones that see the truth. And if you really think about it, let's be for real. If he was not that type of guy, especially with his children, they wouldn't be there for him like that. They wouldn't business with him. They would allow him and left him wherever. And that would be it if he really wasn't that guy, right? But he is that guy. And that's why he gets that love in this time. Okay. And that's just him, as how he carries himself with his craft and with his talent and his gifts. But can we get into the sound? Can we get into his sound? Because Freddie McGregor's voice is not just a voice. It's a feeling. And you know what? I'm going to let you hear that feeling. I'm going to let you hear that feeling firsthand. This is... I'm not even going to say nothing. Listen.
I'm a longing to see you. I wanna know how you been doing. Angie in Toronto. Just like that.
It's a feeling. The man's voice is a full feeling. Like, did you hear me fangirl out on that? Like, I fully could not contain myself. After asking the man, anyway, I couldn't contain myself. Like, his voice is a feeling. I remember being a kid and hearing, whether it was my father playing Freddie McGregor or my uncle playing Freddie McGregor, it's just a feeling that comes from his voice. And it's just calming, man. It's so calming. It's so comforting. Like, you're just like, yeah. You know? Oh my gosh. Freddie McGregor's voice is a voice that wraps around you like the Caribbean breeze at sunset. Like, it's just nice. And there's a richness in his tone that feels lived in. And there's a softness in his voice that carries strength and a steadiness that feels like home. Freddie moves effortlessly between lovers rock and roots reggae. And no matter the rhythm, his voice stays true. He doesn't change. His voice just, it's Freddie. You know it's Freddie. You hear it and you know it's Freddie McGregor, right? It's grounded, it's soulful, it's unmistakable. And he can deliver a song, like a love song with so much tenderness. He can deliver a roots anthem with conviction, like, yo, I like this. And he can deliver a spiritual tune with reverence where you feel like you just want to start to cry. And through it all, his voice remains one of the most recognizable textures in Jamaican music. It's the kind of voice that doesn't age, it deepens. And even as he's coming through, his current situation, you can hear it. It's still there. It's still deepening. It's still ripening. Like, it's just one of those voices that just continues to ripe. So when you talk about Freddie McGregor's catalog, ooh, what a catalog indeed. You're talking about a man who has given us eras, not just like decades. We're talking eras, complete eras of music. Not just hits, not just moments. I said eras. All right. So from the 1970s to the 1980s into the 90s and beyond, Freddie has been a constant presence, evolving with the times without ever losing himself. Never losing himself. Right? And like, let's get into the songs for a minute. Let's talk about the songs. Big ship sailing on the ocean, right? It's an anthem of resilience and destiny, right? So when I'm ready, my whole I'm steady. We're moving on with lightning speed, yeah, right? It's just, come on, we're sailing on the ocean, and we're not a little ship, we're a big ship, and we're sailing. It's a big deal. And we're sailing, right? And then push comes to shove, which was like a part of the song that he had done for me. I didn't even expect him to do that one. So that one knocked me out a bit. But push comes to shove, right? Push comes to shove. Everybody's going to put the blame on me for loving you, right? It's a lovers rock classic that stays. And it stays and it plays at every family function. Like, you always hear this song, especially back in the day. I mean, I don't really go to family functions anymore. It's just circumstance. But, when you do, you hear that song. Somebody's going to put on some music and they're going to play some Freddie, and you're going to hear Push Comes to Shove. I Was Born a Winner. Yo, like, the title alone. Speaking to you, I was born a winner. I was born a winner. You were born a winner. We're all winners, right? It's a declaration of strength and purpose. I was born a winner. Yeah. Tell me I wasn't. Somebody can't. Anyway. Just Don't Want to Be Lonely. Just don't want to be lonely. It's a global hit that introduced Freddie to a whole new audience, right? And he even did a song Guantanamera, and it's his take on a classic, and is delivered with warmth and soul. And there's so many others, and even like his recent, well, I guess it's been a few years now, but his the last song I can remember that he did, I can't remember the name right now. I'm so embarrassed. But even that song, it just feels like classic Freddie, just in a different time zone, like in a different time. You know what I mean? And you know what? Literally, I'm just scratching the surface. Like I am not even diving deep into this. Freddie's catalog is a soundtrack to Caribbean life, to the cookouts, the jerky on the street side, the road trips, the heartbreaks, the celebrations, the quiet Sunday mornings, the Saturdays cleaning the yard. We have the con broom and you have to sweep out the yard, and then you have, what you know about red, what is that? The red stuff with the coconut brush, and you have to clean. Anyway. His voice is woven into the fabric of who we are. So when you listen to Freddie's music, you hear themes that run deep in our culture. You hear themes of love, and it's not just romance. It's compassion, and it's tenderness, and it's devotion. And you also hear resilience, right? That theme of resilience. And it's the quiet kind. It's the steady kind. The kind that keeps you moving even when life gets heavy. And life can get real heavy, it hurt. It really, really hurt. But, you got to be resistant. You got to have that resilience. Freddie also, like his music brings you themes of spiritual grounding, a sense of purpose, a sense of faith, a sense of something bigger than the moment. Like, if we even go back to like our Serious Ting topic of people not showing up for you, when people don't show up for you, right? That's when you have to understand and know that, this is bigger than me. This is a text message from the Most High telling me that, you see that somebody there? Yeah, you need to dash for that person there, because them not fit their own you. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than the moment. Like, let's read between the lines. Let's read let's look at the dark spots in the corners. Freddie's music also brings themes of community, right? The idea that we rise together, we heal together, we celebrate together. Freddie's songs remind us of who we are and also who we can be. Yeah, I was born a winner. I'm going to win every single time. Watch me. All when I fall down, I'm going to lick up my knee. Listen, I had an instance when I was a kid. I'll give you an anecdote. I have an instance when I was a kid and I was chasing my cousin. My cousin hit me with, I think he hit me with a bamboo stick or something. Big up Kogo on the outside. He hit me with a bamboo stick or something and ran down the hill. And I ran down the hill after him, and I fell in Jamaica down the hill. And the hill was not smooth. I mean, we're talking rocks and all them things. And I fell and I tumbled and I rolled down the hill and scratch up my foot. Then my foot I bleed, and I still get up and run him down, crying. But I still get up and run him down. I think I probably still have some scars on my ankle and my knee from it. And I would think I was like 10. I think I was 10 years old at the time, 10 or 11 or so. Right? But I don't even know how I got into that. I still rise. I was still rising. And as I get into community, my other cousins actually helped me to run him down. I mean, we didn't beat him or nothing, but we still ran him down. They still helped me to run him down, and then they helped me clean up my leg and all that. So the idea that we rise together We heal together. And we celebrate together. Freddie's songs reminds us of that. It reminds us of who we are and who we can be. He sings with the heart of a man who has lived through seasons, and he shares those lessons with us through melody. And you know what, family? I want to tell you why Freddie McGregor is the perfect big feature for tonight's episode. All right. So, Angie, why are you going at this now? Like, why? I'm going to tell you why. Okay. We've been talking about professionalism, right? We've been talking about boundaries, right? We've been talking about protecting your energy and about the difference between people who are interested and people who are committed, right? Freddie McGregor is the embodiment of commitment. Like, think about it. When I met him, he was trying to leave the venue. Like, he was trying to leave the boat. We were on a boat cruise. He was trying to leave the boat. Like, it was time to go. And he was one of the last people to leave because, they let the crowd go and then they take the star out, right? And he could have just, like, rushed past me. I was a nobody. Like, I really, literally, even, like, if we think about it now, in the grand scheme of things, who's Goodaz, right? But even back then, there was no Angie Goodaz. And he still took the time to not only stop and chat with me, but to give me a jingle that I kept. Like, I recorded, it was a video, I kept it and pulled the audio out, and this is why you have the soundbite on the show today. But that's commitment to your fans. I was just a little girl who used to sit by my daddy's speaker box, at a very young age and listen to these tunes and have them ingrained into my DNA. But really and truly, who am I? And he still took the time to make me feel special in the moment. And my friend was with me to make her feel special in the moment, right? That's a man who has given over 50 years to the culture, consistently, humbly, and respectfully. And even when he gets on the stage, like, I remember I saw him, he performed another event, because I used to chase Freddie. Me and my friend, we used to chase Freddie. So Freddie came and he went to the CNE, I believe it was. And it even rained a bit. And he was so dedicated to performing. He didn't let the rain stop him. He still sang. It was like, I'm doing it. Like, this is what we're doing, right? He's the embodiment of commitment, and he does it so humbly and respectfully that it's beautiful. And even after surviving a life-altering medical emergency, and let's be for real, it almost took him out, he still shows up. Like, what? Some people would hide. There are people who get sick and they hide from the audience. They hide from the crowd. They hide from being out there in the public. They have that certain look or persona that they had when they were healthy, and they don't want anyone to see them at their low points. Not Freddie. Like, Freddie is like, nah, I'm here. I'm alive. I was born a winner. So I'm still going to perform. I'm still going to record. And I'm still going to honor the music. How can you not love that? How can you not respect that? How can you not say his name? Like, that is the epitome of devotion. That is discipline. That is love. And having Freddie McGregor serenade to me is a moment that I will never forget. All when my grandpickney them, I'm gonna tell them about it, and might be me play the little thing for them, and then me play the song for them, and be like, "Yo, this man, sing to your granny." I'm not looking for grandkids right now, but I'm just saying, when they come, that's one of the stories in the arsenal for the grandkids as we're making cookies or something, right? So it was just pure warmth, and it was just pure grace, and you heard on the audio clip, like, I couldn't even contain myself because it's Freddie. Come on. So yeah, it's such a full circle that I actually have his voice living inside the foundation of this show, because it's one of our official voice plugs. So big up yourself, Mr. Freddie McGregor. I really appreciate you. And as we talk about boundaries and professionalism, I just wanted to honor a man who has lived those values over the last 5 decades. So, so I'm going to leave you with a song, and I'm not going to play it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to leave you with a song that captures the essence of Freddie's spirit. Okay? So close your eyes for a minute. And no, this is not the vinyl ritual visual. We just vibing for a second, okay? Bear with me. Like, humor me. I want you to picture a steady bass line rolling like waves. A warm, glowing groove that feels like early morning light. You know what? I'm even going to not distract you with my Casamigos. Let's do this again without the Casamigos, okay? So picture a steady bass line rolling like waves. A warm, glowing groove that feels like early morning light. And Freddie's voice gliding over the rhythm with that calm, reassuring tone that only he can deliver. And that's the kind of song that reminds you to breathe, to soften, to trust the journey, to honor the people who show up with love and consistency. Family, that is my big feature on Freddie McGregor. So thank you for listening. All right. So we've reached a moment where, and you know what? I think I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I want to play this song. I'm gonna cue it. I'm gonna cue this song because now I feel like it's gotta be played. So as we talk about Freddie and oh wait, hold on, where'd it go? Yeah, as we talk about Freddie and as we talk about people showing up and people being interested versus people being committed to your thing or to the thing that they said they were going to do and then they chose not to do it, the thing, and you're left holding the bag sometimes. Or you pivot and you do things your way and in a way that makes you feel comfortable. And you remember that you're born a winner. You remember that you're someone, okay? And now we've entered the part in the show where everything slows down and where the noise fades out. The Casamigos gets put on the shelf a little bit. The shoulders drop and the breath gets a little bit deeper. And you know, this is honestly, as much as I love the interviews and I love the getting into the history of the artist when we do the big feature, and as much as I love setting the tone with the Serious Ting, my favorite part of the show is the vinyl ritual. That's my favorite part of the show because this is where we get to reconnect with ourselves through the sound and through memory and through vibration, and we get to actually celebrate the music. So I want to say welcome to the vinyl ritual. So wherever you, actually I should probably do this one. Wherever you are, in your car, in your kitchen, on your couch, I want you to take a moment for yourself. We're going to vibe, all right? I want you to unclench your jaw. I want you to drop your shoulders. I want you to take a slow breath in, and let's get it, okay? I'm going to drop this track because I feel like I should. So like I said, I'm switching it up a little bit, but that's all right. Hold on. Let me grab my notes just to make sure that it's not actually on my playlist. Oh, it is. Okay, we'll play a different one. Hold on. Oh, yes. You know what? Actually, I have an even better one. We're going to play that one next or after, like during the ritual, but we're going to drop the needle on this track. Oh, all right. And I want you to picture a record spinning on a turntable, warm, steady, right? Glowing. And I want you to picture the needle dropping, that gentle crackle. And this is your reset. Let's get it.
Time when the sea gets rough, the wind is blowing and the fishes keep moving. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Sit down, hold on tight, get ready, cause we're sailing. Big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Get ready, cause we're moving. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Whoa, 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 yeah. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Whoa, yeah. Say when I'm ready, you must hold on steady. We're moving off at lightning speed, yeah. Take a seat and just wait till I'm ready. I'm coming, I'm coming. Hold on steady, cause big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. We got to come over. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Whoa, 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 whoa. Say we're sailing on the ocean. Yeah. Say there's a time when the sea gets rough, the wind is blowing and the fishes keep moving. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Sit down, hold on tight, get ready, cause we are sailing. Big ship sailing on the ocean.
So, of course, I want to do a bit of like, nostalgia, the comfort of nostalgic music. And what other way to do it than with some Barris Hammond reminding you of simpler days when life felt soft and the world moved a little bit slower. Guys, let's ease on through the ritual with Rockaway, Barris Hammond.
Those were the days when love used to reign.
So now I want to get into a classic. This is such a classic. This is like a Saturday classic. You hear this when your mama's cleaning up the yard and thing. Or you might play it when you clean up the yard. But this song is a reminder of respect and dignity, and not only respect and dignity towards the Most High, but also if you think about it to yourself, right? And Sanchez is always bringing that emotional clarity. Always. Where's my mouse? It's the kind that hits you right in the chest. Yeah, man.
There are lots of signs in life, some that you may not like. You could be living this minute, the next minute you're gone away. Hold up your heads, my brothers. Be conscious, my sisters. And by your works you shall surely be paid. Never try to miss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, the one who sits high and he looks down low. And if you ever miss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, then you'll be someone that he don't know. Say a prayer and chant a psalms. Prayer a day keep the evil calm. You don't have to go to church or be a Christian to call on your name. Shout out the name Jehovah in the valleys. Shout out the name Jehovah on the hills. Shout out the name Jehovah on the plains. Or even if it rains, call on the name. Call on your name the same. Call on the name. Yeah. So never try to diss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, the one who sits high and he looks down low. And if you ever diss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, then you will be someone that he don't know. Hey, listen up, I know time is enough. Time is short and life is precious. Hey, listen up, I know time is enough. Life is short, but time is precious. You've got to have the heart of a lion, the children to reach Mount Zion. You can never be afraid, just call on his name. Life is no game. Life is no game. Never try to diss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, the one who sits high and he looks down low. And if you ever diss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, then you'll be someone that he don't know.
All right. So now I'm going to carry you into a little bit of Ghost. You know, he has a way of making your spirit soften. So let this one wash over you. Do you believe? Do you? Do you? Let's go.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside and I can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it. But after all is said and done, you're gonna be my only one. Oh, do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, really don't think it's strong enough now. Do you believe in life after love? I can feel something
So now, as we shift into boundaries, you know, Etana says, tell them I don't live here anymore. And yo, that's a whole sermon in one line. Like, this is the moment when you remember that you don't have to make yourself small for nobody, honey. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. Don't do it. Yeah, man. Wrong address. Etana. Yeah, yeah.
Try to get a job today, but when I'm to the application, them say, if this is where you really reside, please step outside. She asked them why, and they reply, yeah. We don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Lady, where you come from, people die there every day. For our safety, that's where you should stay. She traded in a 3-piece for a 2. Everything and anything she wanted to do. Went back to her side of town. In bed she lay down.
Reggae Nights, shout out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't know, yeah.
We don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Yeah. 'Cause lady, where you come from, people die there every day. And for our safety, that's where you should stay. It's easier to give in to the pressures of life. It's harder to get over when you're trying to do right. But just stay focused and keep your goals inside. Been through school, passed every test, graduated above the rest. On her society still looks down. They do this why they don't want us to try. So they'll reply, hey, we don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Lady, where you come from, people die there every day.
All right. So, do you hear something like that? You know, you want to get into some strength and some power. People trying to tell you that, yo, where you live, where you come from is not, yo, no. That's when you have to unleash the lioness. Get into some strength and some power and some grace. This is the anthem for every woman. I'm going to say man too, who's had to pick him or herself up and keep it moving, even when people didn't show up in the way that they should have. Lioness is on the rise, Queen Africa. Yeah, yeah.
When the roll is called out, I'll be standing taller to face the darkest and the hardest of times. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof, but if it's required, we'll be on the front line. You can call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Never say never, willingness forever to fight and be strong. Once it's for better, I'll write every letter and moving right along. And I'll roll with the punches, accept changes, work with the formula, do what I have to do. And call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same.
And some people would say, Angie, it's too far in the song. Send me the business. Let's go. That's why it's my show. I can do what I want to. I bet.
Are you ready? 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 When the roll is called up, I'll be standing taller to face the darkest and the hardest of times. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof. But if it's required, we'll be on the front line. You can call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Never say never, willingness forever to fight and be strong. Once it's for better, I'll write every letter and moving right along. And I'll roll with the punches, accept changes, work with the formula, do what I have to do. And call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. When you are willing to serve, we have room to observe, to see if you can walk the walk you took. Let me give you my word, my voice must be heard. Bravery is a piece of my heart. Call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. A lioness is on the rise, don't ever have no doubt. When the roll is called up, we'll be standing taller to face the darkest and the hardest of times. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof. But if it's required, we front lane. You can call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told.
Well, I'm going to tell you, protect your energy, protect your peace, and always have your self-defense up. Protege he always brings you that guided and grounded clarity. And this is the reminder that your spirit is worth guarding. I'm unguarded.
all are trapped. Well, if that's the case, then what's the excuse you will use when good youths get shoot by the cops? Yo, me have to wonder, what could have caused this? The land where we love just a move so lawless. Yo, I could not hungry, oh man I starve, but find strength to rap, oh man a supermarket. When food the country and it ripe for harvest. Yo, I wonder what the sense is in all this. Ay, and any man where you pray pan, oh man them forget line up, make we shoot the target. Place a move strange, watch how you walk to me. Looking at me face when you a talk to me. And span me waist, might have to draw for me. Because me nah sit and wait pon the law. Place a move strange, watch how you walk to me. Looking at me face when you a talk to me. And span me waist, might have to draw for me. Because me nah sit and wait pon the law. Hey, and me say put up on no one agree 100%. No, this don't make no sense. Self-defense, self-defense. No, some might take offense to how time gets so tense. Them plain innocent, it depends, it depends. Woman put up on no one if you no not take no check. If you no not take no check, make we raise it, check and select it. Make a boy know if him touch him regret it. No afraid fi go with it, them nah go repress. How much I fi bleed, how much woman I fi dead. Before you see say something sick inna them on the head. Psychologically see say them inadequate. In actuality society it a reflect. You think you own your own man, think say are your property. You and your dirty brethren them keep up atrocity. When we retaliate we not gonna need apology. We sisters under attack, this a calamity. Me hear some man a say them rather rape than turn a gay. As if them they think they related in any way. You know see say as some sick of them mentality. The patriarchy propagate all of them policies.
Let me take this time to remind you that you are a winner, and no matter what people feel like they can do to you or how them feel like them can go on, no, you were born a winner, and Freddie McGregor reminds us of that. And this is at the heart of tonight's episode. Yeah, man, let it marinate. And you know what? In case you forgot, I'm going to rewind it one more time. I was born a winner. You were born. Listen, listen. And as you move through that winner mentality, you know, we all deserve a good life. We all want a good life. So make sure that you demand it, whether it comes from your partner or from your job or from your friends. You want a good life. Yeah, I would not suck for less on that.
Ooh la da da da. This is what my baby said to me, Lord. Oh dear me.
And you know,
She said she
pull it
want a
up. I
good
have to pull it up.
life.
I have to pull it up.
Baby said to me, Lord. Oh dear me. She said she want a good life. No one to cause her pain and strife. She want a good life. No man to cause her pain and strife. She don't want no unsteady relationship. One with a rock like a rocking ship. Wanna love that steady as can be. One that brings back memory. She want a good life. No man to cause her pain and strife. She say she want a good life. No man to cause her pain and strife. She's been in and out of loving, and she says she must confess she been used
We say
and
I can pull
abused.
it up again, right? I can pull it up again. I can pull it
No,
again, right? I'm gonna pull it up one more time.
this is what my baby said to me, Lord. Oh dear me. She says she want a good life, no one to cause her pain and strife. She want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. She don't want no unsteady relationship. One with a rock like a rocking ship. Wanna love that steady as can be. One that brings back memory. She want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. She say she want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. She's been in and out of loving, and she says she must confess she been used and abused, but there's no more time to lose. Oh no, because she want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. She say she want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. Hear this, she want a man that's filled with ambition, one who'll sit down and set up a plan. The future is secure for all life long. She want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. To say she want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. Well, she is a sweeter than Cleopatra. She's got style, she's got class. Any man would want to pass, but oh no. She say she want a good life, no man to cause her pain and strife. She want a good life,
But
no man to
even
cause her
with the
pain
good
and
life,
strife.
you always need to make
Because she
sure that
want
you're
a man
reaching
to
out
settle
to
down,
the
and
Most
a man
High.
want a girl in
Always to,
every town.
as my mom
She
would
want
say,
a
put a
man to
hedge
treat
around
her
you
right, and a
in
man
order to
want a
protect
money
you.
man.
So we always have to make sure that in whatever space we're walking through, whether we want to be a winner, we want the good life, we're the lioness or the lion on the rise. Always make sure you're praying. Always make sure you're getting that grounding. So we're going to take a moment to
Lord,
breathe
watch over our
and
shoulders
reconnect with
tonight and
something
help
bigger
us
than
live our
us.
words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from, Father, show us the way to go. He said, I must love and feed my enemies, and I'm gonna do it. He said, I shouldn't hate or grudge, and I won't, not even for a minute. Let only truth come from my lips. Bless our souls, cause without you we can't make it. Lord, watch over our shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from, Father, show us the way to go. You're the wind beneath my wings. See me through all little things. You lifted me when I was down. Now you have me standing on higher ground. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight and help us live thy words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from, Father, show us the way to go. How excellent is thy name. Deliver us from sin and shame. Out of the mountain, babe, and settle in, you are ordained strength. Oh, Jah, I'm depending on you. Oh, no other help I know. Oh, Jah, I'm depending on you. Oh, no other help I know. You're the only way. God be deep by day. With you I wanna stay. Please don't go away, Lord. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight and help us live thy words tomorrow. Let's not forget to where we're from, for the show us the way to go. You said I must love and feed my enemies, and I'm gonna do it. You said I shouldn't take your grudge, and I won't, not even for a minute. Let only truth come from my lips. Bless our souls, Lord, without you we can't make it. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget to where we're from, for the show us the way to go. You're the wind beneath my wings, see me through all little things. You lifted me when I was down, now you have me standing on higher ground. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget to where we're from, for the show us the way to go. Oh, Jah, I'm depending on you. Oh, no other help I know. Oh, Jah, I'm depending on you. No other help I know. Oh, oh, oh.
Before we go any further, I just feel that it's best that I do this.
Y'all big and serious podcast every time. Baby, can't you stop the rain from falling? Won't you chase another day? Big and serious podcast. I love it. Anthony Malva says so.
That was loud. All right. So, we're talking about boundaries tonight, and we're talking about people that just, they have the interest, but the commitment is not there or whatever. And, I feel like this should be the anthem for when you finally realize that you've been doing too much for people who give you too little. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Terra Fabulous, he actually said what needed to be said. And he said it with rhythm, he said it with clarity, and he said it with a little smirk. Yeah, you must be a fool.
People are foreign cry, but Monday I ask why. What do I know why? Ask this now. What me say? You think that man a make no boy angle them load. You must see fool, you must see stouch. We know out of we mind, we no boy think we stop. I else in a them face the machine a pop up, yes. I know something feel off. Boys you be see so a wings and a mask. In a we gangsta dressing not even a talk. Boys see them come cry. But man they hard ask why. What do I know why? Ask this now. What me say? You think that man a make no boy angle them load. You must see fool, you must see stouch. We know out of we mind, we no boy think we stop. Or else in a them face the machine a pop.
I have to, I have to, I have to. Listen,
Ask this now. What me say? You think that man a make no boy angle them load. You must see fool, you must see stouch. We know out of we mind, we no boy think we stop. Or else in a them face the machine a pop up, yes. I know something feel off. Boys you be see so a wings and a mask. In a we gangsta dressing not even a talk. Boys see them captain and I hit them run fast. Think the yard man they in a no skylark. The Russian yard man boy is like you not smart. Looking at them face and you will see the mark. Wicked and we bad and we dreadful and cross. Bending up your face if you're wicked your back. Feel like you're mighty, me friend, I beg your cough. You will see the head that you so with piece of cloth. Make a move and return, everything dark. You think that man a make no boy angle them rude. You must see fool, you must see stooge. We know
Oh, I think it's gonna be one of those nights. What do you say, Joe? Run it again, right? Run it again, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. You mean? All right, so you see when you set those boundaries, right? And you make the people that know say you're no fool and you're no idiot and they can't deal with you a certain way. It's like you go into your cocoon. And I know Buju had a different idea for this song, but you see me, true me not make nobody really make me feel certain ways and make me feel like some I go, yeah, maybe we get a little bit dark around here. I don't know, but here what? When I think of butterflies, I think about the new version of myself that I've just fallen so much in love with. Yeah, this song, it feels like a transformation, like stepping into a new version of yourself with softness and strength. Let's go. Yo, because we set some boundaries, Buju. We set some boundaries. Are you mean? Let's go.
Coming on this girl time. Well, anyhow, you make a feel butterflies. I'm gonna love you for life. Know that. I see potential in your eyes. I wanna love you for life. Know that. Anyhow, you make a feel butterflies. We'll love you for life. Girl child, I see potential in your eyes. Let me love you for life. Know that. Listen, tell me this, girl, how your skin a glow, so you super califragilisticexpialidocious. Well, if there's a crush, then your body get flush. Very curiosity, me want feel your touch. Love you with passion, girl, you're so curvaceous. Tell you I'm attracted, clearly it's obvious. Uncanny sense of humor, but never ridiculous. Give me that love with a sense of purpose. Anyhow, you make a feel butterfly, I'm gonna love you tonight. Know that. I see potential in your eyes. Let me love you for life.
What do you say? One more time, right?
Hi, baby. Coming on this girl time. Well, anyhow, you make a feel butterflies. I'm gonna love you for life. Know that. I see potential in your eyes. I wanna love you for life. Know that. Anyhow, you make a feel butterflies. We'll love you for life. Girl child, I see potential in your eyes. Let me love you for life. Know that. Listen, tell me this, girl, how your skin a glow, so you super califragilisticexpialidocious. Well, if there's a crush, then your body get flush. Very curiosity, me want feel your touch. Love you with passion, girl, you're so curvaceous.
I have to pull it up.
I'm attracted to you. Hi, baby. Coming on this girl time. Well, anyhow, you make a feel butterflies. I'm gonna love you for life. Know that. I see potential in your eyes. I wanna love you for life. Know that. Anyhow, you make a feel butterflies. We'll love you for life. Girl child, I see potential in your eyes. Let me love you for life. Know that. Listen, tell me this, girl, how your skin a glow, so you super califragilisticexpialidocious. Well, if there's a crush, then your body get flush. Very curiosity, me want feel your touch. Love you with passion, girl, you're so curvaceous. Tell you I'm attracted, clearly it's obvious. Uncanny sense of humor, but never ridiculous. Give me that love with a sense of purpose. Anyhow, you make a feel butterfly, I'm gonna love you tonight. Know that. I see potential in your eyes. Let me love you for life. Know that. I'm ready to face the battle. Fight every fight. The two are we together with future no pride. Roads get rocky, make we hold on tight. Love me like you never love no one in your life. You know how we treat man, your mom grow you right. Expectations are satisfied. Anyhow, you make a feel butterfly. I'm gonna love you tonight. Know that. I see potential in your eyes. Let me love you for life. Girl child, whatever I can buy, you satisfy. Never wanna see you cry. By your eye, fly up on the jet, let us do a mile high. I don't wanna ever hurt my sweet pie. No case load, heavy enough man why apply. Enough of them I look your bone.
Yo, so you see when you fall in love with that new version of yourself, I want you to carry yourself with a piece of joy, a piece of lightness. I want you to have a movement in your step, right? Yeah, this is where your body loosens up and your spirit just shifts because you know, say, life's sweet and you gotta deal with yourself a certain way. You see?
the pressures of your life and it tough. No stay down, mama, time pick it up. No bother with the down, full style, strictly up, full vibes. Now pick it up when the bills, them, the rent and the mortgage due. Yeah, yeah. When me chalice, when your best friends are gone and it's only you. Yeah, like a past lift turn up the music. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free.
Yeah, we all want to feel Irie, right? Let's feel Irie together. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah. We're carrying ourselves into a new era where the boundaries are sexy, right? We love the boundaries and we're moving with them and we're dealing with them and we're happy in them. Yeah, the boundaries that we set for others so they can't deal with it a certain way. Yazid.
The pressures of your life and it tough. No stay down, mama, time pick it up. No bother with the down, full style, strictly up, full vibes. Now pick it up when the bills, them, the rent and the mortgage due. Yeah, yeah. When me chalice, when your best friends are gone and it's only you. Yeah, like a past lift turn up the music. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with you know, feel a reggae music sweet, yeah, yeah. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know, feel a reggae music sweet, yeah, yeah. Skanking sweet, for every pain there's a melody, yeah. For every trouble there's a harmony that brings everything together. So make we sing together. And who said life no order? And every man got this struggle. I beg you to help me, Lord, and let me overcome my troubles. Skanking sweet, yeah. Everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and rock with me. You know, feel a reggae music sweet, yeah, yeah. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know, feel a reggae music sweet, yeah. Skanking sweet. We skank it till our morning come. Until the day when my troubles are gone. Hallelujah. We're grooving in our jazz. We're grooving all my troubles away. Everybody wanna feel like troubles and rockin'.
So I will take a moment to say next week, reggae recording artist Wizzle 6 joins the big conversation. Yeah, man, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good conversation, so don't miss it. Every Thursday, Big and Serious podcast from 8 till 10. You don't know I'm your hostess with the mostest, Angie Goodaz. We're not done yet, but just I'm making you know what I'll go on next week. You see me? All right. So we're going to close the way that we always close. Yeah, man. I want you to get with me on the heartbeat and the foundation and the rhythm that carries the spirit of the culture. This is the Sly and Robbie Stagalag Rubadub rhythm. And you don't know, this is the official closer of the vinyl ritual. Cause you know, say the good as love a Sly and Robbie. So I want you to let it carry you through the rest of your week with ease, with strength, and a little trouble. All right. Let's get into it. I want you to take one final breath with me before we go. So we're gonna, wherever you are, just take a moment to pause, right? Because you deserve every single moment of softness, even if it's during the vinyl ritual. So I want you to unclench your jaw. I want you to relax your shoulders. Stop wearing them as earrings. Relax your shoulders, right? We're going to take a deep breath together. You ready? Inhale and exhale. That felt good, didn't it? We should do it one more time, no? One more. Inhale. Exhale. And as we go through this rhythm, I want you to carry this feeling with you. The clarity, the calm, and that sweet, sweet Likkle Trouble energy. Because we need it. And listen, you're not here to be anybody's afterthought or emotional crutch or convenience store. If people can't show up properly, release them gracefully, with style, with softness, and with a smile that says, I know my worth, babes. Choose yourself boldly. Choose yourself loudly. Choose yourself before anybody gets the chance to waste your time. Baby, don't waste your time. So I want to say thank you for vibing with me tonight. You done know, taking a breath or two or 3 or 10 with me, holding onto this space. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Angie Goodaz, and this is the Big and Serious Podcast. Music, conversation, and a little trouble every time. So walk good, stay dangerous in the softest way possible, and I'll see you next week. Look more Zin.